Hello there. I want to talk to you real quick about one of my favorite pedals that I've ever owned in my life. It's this right here. It's a Boss DS1, and I've had it for a couple months. I've been using it all over, whether that be in live settings or in like studio sessions, just in here for recording things for friends. But one of the reasons why I love this pedal is very interesting. You see, one of my favorite guitar players of all time is John Frusciante of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and this is one of the pedals that he uses as both his overdrive and his distortion, just to get some of those more higher gain settings for some of the legendary solos he's been a part of. But it's only one part of his gain signal flow. You see, when he wants those clean tones, just in doing some research on the different gear that he uses, one of the pedals that is very useful for getting his style of tones and that he has used on his board before is called an MX133. And it's used a lot of the time as what's called a clean boost, just to boost the clean signal a little bit, to add a little more gain before you get to the actual distortion or overdrive tones for something like a DS1. And I've had that on my list of pedals to get for a long time. Just being the player that I am, I mostly use clean tones, whether that be live or in here, and I love a good clean solo and being able to, like he does, really bring up some of those tones without having to go straight to the overdrive or the distortion. So I've been thinking about it. I've literally been thinking about it all week. What am I going to do about this? Am I going to actually get that MX133? And the answer is yes. I need to. So, like many times on this channel, I looked actually all week for one, right? Because I want to show you guys the adventure of actually going out and buying a pedal, and I haggled a lot, and I was only able to find one on Facebook Marketplace. And this guy, he's meeting me very close, like a spot that is very close to my current apartment. So let's go, let's see what we can do about this pedal. Ready? Somebody's trying to sound like Frusciante, and it's me. So I think just the worst part is always the waiting. I always end up getting here way earlier than the other person when I do like Facebook Marketplace meetups or stuff like that. So we're just waiting to try and sound like Frusciante. I just do guitar stuff. It's in full working condition, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, yeah. Do you play a lot of Frusciante stuff? How long have you had it for?
I've had it since 2017, I think.
2017?
Yeah. It was pretty much like my overdrive pedal for a little while. Kind of an always on, just to give it a little bit of an extra boost. And sounds great. I mean, do it with a Strat, through a Vox AC30. Can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, I'm going through an AC15 right now.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
So we have procured the merchandise. Super nice guy, incredibly nice, super easy deal. We're going back home to plug this in and see how it sounds. All right, so we made it and we have procured the goods. One of the things that I think is really cool in just going around and doing some of these deals and just finding pieces of gear is like with that guy, getting to meet really cool, nice people and getting to hear their stories. So thank you for that. It's actually a little bit bigger than I thought it was. I feel like looking at it online, I kind of assumed that it was as big as like the mini tube screamers that they have. Not the TS9, but the one that's a little bit cheaper than that. And the other thing I did know, that if you've seen it online or have used one before, there's only one knob. It's a gain knob. So I'm gonna actually see how this works. It's cool to have a pedal that really that I feel like could impact my tone a lot, that has a really simple function and really simple uses. So I'm excited to see it. Let's check it out. So I talked about it with the pedal before. It's a very simple knob. Right now I have it at 12 o'clock. And one of the things I'm trying to realize with guitar pedals and everything guitar in general is that simple does not mean bad in any way, shape, or form. So with it off, I just have a clean tone. And then you turn it on, like I said, 12 o'clock. And you just get that little extra oomph that I like, right? It's cool even looking at my Logic file to see the differences in the waveform when you just have that slight gain boost. But I really like it, so I'm going to try and turn it up even a little bit more now to where you start to really get that breakup. And I'm not talking about with my ex. Okay, so the thing I've been most excited about of all of this is not just to use it, but like I said before, to use it in conjunction with the DS1, because Frusciante's not just running one pedal out here. So I think it's kind of like a Stevie Ray Vaughan with the double tube screamer thing. Like you have those people with those legendary pedal combinations, so I'm so excited to try this. I think the thing I'm going to need to be most careful about accounting for is like the actual volume increase, and that's only if I'm recording something. That would literally be because just with the microphone preamp and how hot it's going into the actual interface, there can be some tendency for clipping if I'm not. Thank you for that riff, Josh Klinghoffer, because it's literally genius. All right, so much like with any pedal that's going to potentially be like an always on my board, I think the big test will be like in the mix, as always, seeing like how it'll cut and how it'll go through, especially next to like my overdrive pedals, not just soloed. So all right, so I've talked about before a lot on this channel, there's certain pieces of gear that I think like change my mind on a certain effect or like change my mind on what I can do with a specific certain type of music. And that's just not what this pedal is. Going in, I knew what it was. I know a lot about a clean boost, even though I haven't used a lot of them outside of random guitar stores. But I think this is more of a game changer pedal for my tone. This is what I've been looking for, the clean boost. And as someone who does a lot of like clean soloing and stuff like that, I really think this is going to be a replacement for me for having, instead of having two overdrive pedals on my board, I think it would be better if I had a clean boost into like a heavier distortion or even like a vintage tube screamer to really get the sound that I'm looking for. And I'm really interested to see how it'll do with even other genres. I get why John Frusciante and why some people would use this pedal, because it's so great to have that extra gain without going into breakup. And for the blues stuff that I play, that is perfect. That's so perfect. Even for some of like the church stuff that I do, you put a lot of ambient stuff over there. You don't want it to be completely clean and still cut in a mix. This is one of my favorite pedals that's going to be on my pedal board moving forward. And like I said, it's not just because it changed my mind on stuff. Like I like the chorus pedal that I just put on my board, but that's not going to be an always on pedal. This could legitimately be like an always on pedal. It's really easy to appreciate the simplicity of this thing. It's one knob. It's gonna be interesting to see because my pedal board it's starting to get pretty full. And it's almost gonna be like a game of Survivor, like what pedals stay, what gets to go, what's gonna be the always on. And I don't know, maybe I should do like a voting system like on Survivor. Have you guys write in which pedals you think need to stay, which ones you think need to go. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Josh Klinghoffer, John Frusciante, and whoever made all of those riffs that I played before. If you like the sound of this pedal or just want to know anything more about any of the gear that I used to get any of the tones in this video, all the links are down below. You can get them all from Sweetwater. Make sure to check it out. They're still running some great deals right now. Or if you're just curious about what gear I usually use or what gear I love, make sure to check out those links. Drop a comment, drop a like if you had a good good time, and most important of all, like literally most important of all, have a fantastic day. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day.